Hey guys, it's Miss Hogg, and this is our inaugural Flipped Classroom video. I'm so glad you joined us. Normally, I will not show my face, but since our first one, I thought I would tell you hello. Hi parents, if you're watching. Today is a little bit different because I'm still waiting on my new document camera to be installed that has the capabilities to video. So until then, I am using my phone to film. So please be giving me some grace as I might have some shaky camera skills here because I'm trying to hold the phone with my left hand and write with my right hand. So we're gonna do our best. Today's lesson is gonna be really short. We're just gonna be tacking on to where we left off in class today. So in class today, we talked about adding rational numbers, and we discussed all the different rules on how you add fractions, decimals, of course, whole numbers, and that includes positive and negative numbers. And then so tonight, your homework is to do the notes over subtraction rules. So to get started, we are going to actually continue our little song that we started today in class. And in class today, we discussed that we want to remember the tune of Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Everybody knows that, okay? So I am no artist, I am no singer, but I'm going to do my best here. And we are going to add the second verse. Let's review the first verse, just so you remember. So in class today, let me switch here. Okay, part 2, sorry about that. In class today, we looked over adding rational numbers, and I taught you this song. And again, I am no singer, professional singer, but if you remember, it goes a little like this, to the tune of Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Same signs add and keep, different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the larger number, then you'll be exact. Okay, so remember that. We're going to add on to that. It's just a fun way to learn subtraction rules. Okay, so if you want to pause it right now and write this down, you are welcome to do that. Just hit the pause button, write this down, and then we'll meet back up when you're done. All right, welcome back. So the verse 2, the second verse of our song, is to the same tune. And it goes like this. Subtraction's not that hard to do. It's really not that bad. Change the signs in the middle, then use your rules for add. Okay, no more singing from Miss Hogg. Sorry if that broke any of your windows or mirrors in your room. But these lyrics are going to help us today in our lesson on subtraction. So the key here is this part. Change the signs in the middle, then use your rules for add, okay? Changing the signs in the middle, then use your rules for add. So let me give you an example. Pardon my reach here. We're going to do our first example. And our first example is going to be negative 6.5 minus 2. Okay. So what do I mean by change the signs in the middle? Well, here's the sign in the middle. It's a subtraction. There's two signs that you see here. One, you can see it's subtraction. The other sign is something that you don't see, but it's there. And it's that this number 2 that is being subtracted is a positive number. So it's a positive 2. So what do we mean by change the signs? Well, to change the signs in the middle, we just need to change our example to this. Negative 6.5. We're going to change that minus to a plus. And then we're going to change the other sign to a negative because we're changing this sign. Change the signs in the middle. Change, change, okay? Keep, change, change. That's another thing that a lot of people like to say. A lot of math teachers, a jingle might be, you keep this sign of this, you change the sign in the middle, you change this the sign of this, okay? So keep, change, change. So now we have negative 6.5 plus negative 2. So now you just continue your rules for add. We just add those up. Negative 6.5 plus 2, if you want to write it like this, if it helps you to go vertically, plus negative 2. All right, you have 5 and 8. Remember that negative sign still is in play, so our answer is negative 8.5. All right, let's do another example, and this time we're going to use a fraction. Remember, we're not going to hyperventilate or freak out when we see fractions. They are not scary, okay? Negative 1.5 minus 2. So there's two ways you can go about this. You can change this to a decimal. It's not a negative 1.5. That's what I said earlier. It's positive. You could change this to 1.5 minus 2 if you want to, or you could leave as a fraction. I'm going to go ahead and change it to a decimal here. It just makes it a little bit easier in this situation, that you wouldn't have to put it into a mixed fraction with an improper bigger on the top than the bottom, and then find common denominators. So we're going to put it in a decimal form because 1.5 is a real easy decimal. So 1.5 minus 2. So our rules say we want to change the signs in the middle. So keep, change, and change. We're going to change this sign in the middle to a plus, and we're going to change this sign on the 2 to a negative. So now we have 1.5 plus a negative 2. Now we go back to our addition rules, okay? Our addition rules say same signs, add and keep, different signs, subtract. Okay, so now sorry about that. This is also something that is hard. When you have your own phone, you are using your phone. Somebody calls you, it stops your video. And we're back. Part 3. Okay, so same signs, add and keep, different signs, subtract. So we have different signs here. We're going to subtract. And I remember when we subtract, it says keep the sign of the larger number, then you'll be exact. Okay, so our larger number is 2. It's bigger than 1.5. So we're going to subtract 1.5 from 2. All right, well, we know that in our head, it's very simple. We just say 2 minus 1.5, and that equals 0.5. And we keep the sign of the larger number, okay? So our larger number is the 2. So it's going to be a negative, which makes sense. If you start at 1.5 and you go 2 down on the number line, you're going to end up in a negative situation. It's going to be a negative 0.5. All right? Let's do one more example. And this time we're going to do another fraction. Let me change colors for you. We have positive 24 and 3/8 minus, and we're going to put this in parentheses because it's a minus and a minus. Don't want you to get confused. The negative goes with the big whole number here, 54, and then 1/8. Okay, well, we have some really good things going on here because we have the same denominator, which makes this so much better. We don't have to find a common denominator. Hallelujah, right? But what we do need to do here is we're going to change this back into a mixed number where it's going to be improper fraction. So what we do here is I don't know if you've ever heard it called around the world, where you do 8 times 24 plus 3, okay? And that will give you what the numerator is supposed to be. So 8 times 24, I'm going to go over here. Do this on the side. That's a 32. That's a 16 plus 3 is 19. So we're going to end up with 8 times 32. 8 times 24 is 192, and then you add that 3. So we get 195. Okay, so now our new numerator is going to be 195 over 8. That's the same thing. Those are equal. This is just improper. That's proper. Okay, we're going to keep our minus sign for now. Now we need to change this into an improper fraction so we can subtract it. So now we're going to go over here and we're going to do the same thing. Around the world, multiply and add. Okay, so multiply 8 times 54. 54 times 8 is 32. 5 times 8 is 40. Plus 3 is, 43. 432. I'm sorry, I realize you just could not see that, but you hopefully, if you need to stop it right now to catch up with me, well, all I did here was 54 times 8 equals 432. So now that's our new numerator, but first, we're not going to write that down yet because it's really not our new numerator. We still have to add this extra 1 here. So if you add 1, you get 433. So now 433 is our numerator. Denominator is still the 8. But remember, we have this little negative here. So we're going to keep that negative there. Doesn't change the negative. Now we're going to subtract. Our rules say change the signs in the middle, then use your rules for add. So change the signs in the middle. One sign there, change that to positive. Ooh, much nicer. Now we can add, okay? So now we have 195 plus 433, and that will equal 628. Okay, so now we have equals 628 over 8. And now we just need to put this improper fraction back into a proper fraction. How do we do that? We have to divide. Okay, so we're going to say 628 divided by 8. 8 doesn't go into 6, but it will go into 62 7 times. 8 times 7 is 56. And that leaves us with 6 left over. Bring down the 8. 74. Okay. At the top here, because 8 will go into 68. I'm sorry. 8 times. 8 goes into 68 8 times. 8 times 8 is 64. And leaves 4 left over. Okay. So now we have 78 is our whole number with a remainder of 4 over 8. But I hate to tell you, we're not done yet, because guess what? This can be simple. This can be reduced. So we can reduce this fraction. We're going to reduce it by 4. And so now it becomes 78 1/2. That's our answer. All right. Anyways, bring these notes to class tomorrow. We're going to play a really fun game where you get to do a little scavenger hunt around the room using those adding and subtracting rational numbers. Okay, have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.